politicians, policy people, we talk about policy, we talk about poverty a lot, but we can't come up with a good response to it. Government's response is generally, let's give more stuff. On the policy side, our response is, well, stop doing that. But on neither side do we have a good answer. Well, what do you do instead? Or is giving stuff working? And so the Better Yes Network is to connect the organizations that are providing that better yes to people, and showing the folks who are in poverty in that bad situation that there's a better yes to what their current situation is, and by doing that, providing the better yes for the policymakers and those of us who advocate for or those of us who used to advocate for policy, and those of you who still do.
Now, it is important to note, many of you listening may say, that Joe Coletti name sounds kind of familiar. You were at one point the main budget analyst for the John Locke Foundation. You've also worked in state government on sort of policy wonk issues. Why move from that arena to then this group that wants to be outside of government and dealing with poverty?
After spending nearly a decade or over a decade with Locke Foundation, with the State Policy Network, which connected groups like Locke across the country, and then being in state government trying to bring reform to policy issues, it was spending time in two other countries, developing countries, Uganda and the Dominican Republic, that helped me see that what we were doing and trying to do with government, they were actually succeeding with in the private sector in places, in at least one of those countries, where the government is dysfunctional and corrupt. And when we tried to make those policy changes within government, because the great policy ideas that we had at the Locke Foundation, everybody else in state government already had those ideas. They just couldn't figure out how to pull them off. And part of it has to do with the federal funds, that you cannot make changes in human services because so much of that is funded by the federal government. And so to bring innovation at the state level is extremely difficult. So it led me to say, where else can we do this? I had models from elsewhere, and so let's make the private sector a better response than we have right now.